Your married coworker just closed on a 3-bedroom house in a neighborhood you can't even afford to get coffee in. You know the one. It's that subdivision where the lawns look like they've been manicured by robots, and the air smells like fresh mulch and equity. They're showing you the listing on their phone during lunch break, practically vibrating with that smug, domesticated excitement. You're forced to sit there, nodding, scrolling through high-definition photos of granite countertops, a rainfall showerhead, and a backyard big enough for the golden retriever they're planning to adopt from a rescue shelter that probably requires a background check more rigorous than the FBI. You do the mental math because you can't help yourself. Their combined income is maybe $120,000. You know this because you work in the same department. You know the pay bands. You make $75,000. You are not irresponsible with money. You don't have crippling credit card debt. You drive a car that is old enough to vote. You brown bag your lunch 4 days a week, eating sad leftovers out of Tupperware that is permanently stained orange from spaghetti sauce. And yet, somehow, you are paying $1,800 a month to live in a 1-bedroom apartment with a kitchen so small you can touch the stove and the fridge simultaneously. If you drop a spoon, it hits 3 appliances before it hits the floor. Meanwhile, their mortgage payment, principal and interest, is $1,600 for a house that is triple the size of your box. How's that fair? Spoiler alert, it's not fair. And it's not you. It's not your mindset. It's not your latte habit. It's the math. And the math has been rigged against single people since before you were born. My name is Diabolical Invests, and today we are tearing the lid off something nobody in the financial industry wants to acknowledge because it ruins their generic advice templates. Being single in 2026 is financially punishing in ways that would make medieval tax collectors blush. This isn't about dating advice. I don't care about your love life. This isn't about relationship goals or finding your soulmate. This is about cold, hard, merciless economics. We're going to calculate exactly how much extra money you are hemorrhaging every single year simply because you do not have a partner to split bills with. And by the end of this, you're going to understand why the American dream was never designed for people flying solo. It was built to extract wealth from them. Let's start with the most obvious cost, the one that eats the biggest hole in your paycheck: housing. The housing market is a game of musical chairs where couples get 2 seats and you get a wobbly stool. If you're single and renting in any halfway decent city, you need to find a place on your own. Let's look at the numbers. A 2-bedroom apartment costs maybe $2,400 a month. A 1-bedroom in the same building costs $1,800. Logic would dictate that cutting a bedroom would cut the price in half, right? Wrong. That's not how square footage arbitrage works. You're paying 75% of the cost for 50% of the space. That is not a discount. That is a scam with a lease agreement attached to it. But your married friends? They're splitting that $2,400  2 ways. They are each paying $1,200. You are paying $1,800 for less space, worse amenities, a view of a brick wall, and the solitary joy of doing all your own dishes. They are saving $600 a month compared to you. That is $7,200 a year just on rent. That is a used car. That is a luxury vacation. That is a fully funded Roth IRA contribution. And that is just the rent. We haven't even started talking about utilities. The internet provider does not care that you're only one person streaming Netflix. The connection fee is the same. The garbage collection fee is the same. The delivery charges on your electric bill are the same. You're paying a fixed cost infrastructure penalty for the audacity of existing alone. You are buying a full-size container of laundry detergent that will last you 6 months because there is no economy of scale in being alone. You are essentially subsidizing the grid for everyone else. Now, let's talk about food, because this is where the system gets genuinely insulting. Grocery stores are not designed for individuals. They're designed for families and fallout shelters. Everything is sold in bulk to lower the per-unit price. The 24-pack of paper towels is half the per-unit cost of a 6-pack. The family-size bag of jasmine rice is a third of the price per pound compared to the small bag. The value pack of chicken breasts is cheap, but the single cut is priced like it's made of gold. But you can't buy the bulk size because you are one person living in 600 square feet. That rice will go stale before you eat it. Those paper towels will occupy 10% of your total living volume. That mega pack of spinach will turn into a green sludge in your crisper drawer before you can finish half of it. So you pay this singles tax at the grocery store every single week. You're paying roughly 30% more per unit on almost everything compared to someone splitting a Costco membership with a spouse. And don't even get me started on meal planning. Most recipes are written for 4 servings. Who are these 4 people? It's a nuclear family from 1955 that doesn't exist anymore. You are cooking for one. You have 2 choices. You either eat the same chili for 4 days straight until your taste buds go on strike, or you throw away half of what you buy. Either way, you're getting destroyed on food costs. A single person spends an average of $450 a month on groceries for meals that a couple could make for $600 total. Per person, they're spending $300. You're spending $450. That is another $1,800 a year down the drain. Let's move to something nobody talks about: insurance. Actuarial science is cold-blooded. Car insurance companies charge single people more. This is a fact. Statistically, married people are seen as more responsible drivers. I'm not making this up. The algorithm assumes that because you have a spouse, you are less likely to drive like a maniac at 2 a.m. You can have a perfect driving record, never so much as a parking ticket, but if you check this single box, you are paying a premium. Homeowners insurance works the same way. Life insurance costs more. And health insurance? If you're buying it on the marketplace, you don't get the benefit of a family plan discount. You're paying the full individual rate, effectively subsidizing the administrative costs for everyone else. It's death by 1,000 paper cuts, and every single cut is shaped like a dollar sign. Then there's the tax code. This is where the government openly admits they do not care about you. The entire U.S. tax system was architected in the post-World War II era, designed to incentivize the nuclear family unit. The standard deduction for a single filer in 2026 is $15,300. For a married couple filing jointly, is $29,200. That's roughly double, right? Seems fair on paper. Except it's not, because 2 single people living separately would get $29,200 combined in deductions. But they have 2 rents, 2 utility bills, and 2 fridges running. A married couple living in one house gets the same benefit while splitting all their overhead costs. They are being rewarded for consolidation, and you are being penalized for independence. And if you're in a higher tax bracket, the pain gets worse. The married filing jointly brackets are nearly double the single brackets up to a certain income level. Translation: the government looked at single people and said, you know what? They can afford to pay more. They don't have mouths to feed. Why? Because the system assumes you're a temporary glitch. It assumes you are in a transition phase on your way to marriage. If you stay single, you're a bug in the code, and glitches get taxed. But the cruelest part isn't the money you are spending today. It's the opportunities you are missing tomorrow. Your married friends are building equity. They bought that house because 2 incomes made them eligible for a mortgage. You could never qualify for that loan alone. Even if you make decent money, even if you are financially responsible, the banks look at your single income and say risk. You need to make $85,000 just to afford a $1,800 rent payment under the archaic 30% rule. But to buy a $400,000 house, you need to make $120,000 because now there's a down payment, closing costs, and stricter debt-to-income ratios. Your married coworker making $60,000, combined with their spouse's $60,000, gets the house. They get the asset. They get the appreciation. You, making $75,000 alone, technically making more than either of them individually, you get to keep renting. They are accumulating wealth. You are making your landlord wealthy. This is the compounding effect of the singles tax. It isn't just that you are paying more now. It's that paying more now prevents you from building the assets that would make you pay less later.